Our God is a responsible God. He does not excuse people like that. Of course, He forgives. He forgives. Yes. So the Christian views allows the individual, with great responsibility and greater control over the society also. Not only man is responsible what he does, but he is given the control over the society because of now tomorrow, day after tomorrow is voting coming here in Maharashtra. What are we doing? You people are given the control over the society. You decide who will rule. You decide who will rule. Most of the Christians won't vote, and then what they will say that? They will blame the BJP, they will blame the Congress, even they will blame God. They will never say that this happens because I did not cast my vote intelligently. That's how it is. Man always is responsible, but a Christian never. A Christian will never. Thus God created man and woman equal, right? You read through the book of the chapter, 2 of Genesis, you won't see man is superior or woman is inferior. No. He blessed them and said, have dominion together. Subdue everything together. Have children together. Nothing was to be done alone. But it is the usurpation of the authority and misuse of the authority that finally brought in the punishment, said that he shall rule over you. It is brought by the women themselves, not by God. And that is still continuing. Still continuing. And women wants that equal authority now also. But Christianity is the only religion that gives equal authority for men and women. Because in Christ there is neither man nor woman. Neither man nor woman. That's equal right. Yes, that's equal right. Concerning everything other than the authority, when it comes to the authority, man, yes, because of man's Eve's mistakes, the authority is taken away. Otherwise, in every area where there is no authority, they are equal. God has done it so beautifully. Adam and Eve created equal, but because of the misuse or the abuse of the authority, she is now subjected to man. He shall rule over you. And then one thing also said, what? Her desire shall be, yes. Adam and Eve together was to desire God as a supremost. But now woman's desire is shifted from God to man. Yes. Every woman wants to please the man. She is so afraid that someday the man will leave. After sin occurred, Adam and Eve went to sleep, and Adam was gone. He slowly got up and went away somewhere. And in between, of course, Eve turned around and didn't find her husband there, so she got up. She was very impatient and very much afraid, so Adam came after a couple of hours. So Eve was so doubtful. When Adam went back to sleep, she counted all the ribs again to see whether God has created another woman somewhere. Women are still counting the ribs, When the man is becoming late, when the paycheck doesn't go beyond the 15th, or when there is a lipstick color somewhere on the shirt, or there is a long hair, on his shirt or some, she is sit down and wondering, praying to angel, will you look your books and find out whose hair it is? Because in heaven they keep track of all the hairs, because Bible says, everything is counted. Yes. Yeah, women have a difficult time. But in a truly born again family where things are restored back again, there is no question of ruling anybody. You know, they come back to the same original formula where they together do everything in an atmosphere of love and mutual respect. Yet in the counting of God, man is number one now. Man is number one. Because the New Testament gives us so many teachings. Let the woman be subjected to man. Let the man have authority over the family. He be the leader, he will be the provider, he will be this and that and everything. The women is not given that because they have proved themselves that they cannot handle authority very well, very wisely. So man created to be the leader in the society, you know. And God has amazingly given man this creativity. God, our brother Tom spoke about God being the creator. He has created man in his own image, therefore the creativity is part of that image, and man still keep on creating. But you know, sometimes I feel that he is creating for Satan. He's creating, you know. Yes, for every good invention there is a bad side to it. Even the Nobel Prize, you know that what Nobel has invented. Even Nobel, before starting the Nobel Prize, Nobel confessed saying that my invention has the cause for killing millions of people all over the world. So the profit of all that my invention will go into the, you know, Nobel Prize Foundation. Yes. The man who invented the AK-47, he died Russian. You know, what was his statement before his death? He said the same thing. I'm so sorry that my invention was to kill people. Still keep on killing. Man every day is, you know, inventing. Let us be inventing things that are profitable. Yes. Yeah, in America there is a man called George Washington Carver. Ever heard of him? George Washington Carver was a black man, Negro. He lived many, I don't know when he lived, what years he lived, but over 100 years back. Even to this day, he has the largest number of patents in any person's name. George Washington Carver, a poor Negro slave in the farm, he studied himself and became a great scientist. He has more patents for inventions than anybody in America, including the peanut butter that we enjoy. That is his invention. Yeah? And the thing is, everything he invented was useful for humanity. Everything he invented was useful for humanity. For God's sake, don't invent anything that destroys. Don't buy a gun as a toy to your children. Train them to aim at the chest of man and even for fun. You know, no. Don't give them any toy or anything that will be used for abuse of humanity. Give them something that will help. Because a lot of our believing parents give these guns and others to children, you know, toy guns. Why? What do you want? Your children kill somebody? No. So man has this creativity, and his greatest creation probably, I will say, is a society. Society is created by man. You know, democracy and the election system and the authority system, the legal system. Of course, they are all copied from the Bible, you know. The Mosaic jurisprudence is the basis of all the Roman jurisprudence. Every modern country where the modern law is there, it all borrowed from Moses. That's where it is. The law of Moses. You know, again I say that, you know, Moses contributed to the welfare of the whole society, the world. The world. Then Jesus Christ contributed to the welfare of the society most, not talking about Calvary, His Sermon on the Mount has changed the lives and the values of more people in the world than even Moses' jurisprudences. Yes. If there is any goodness in the world, whether it is Mother Teresa or it was Gandhi or anybody else, Jesus Christ has influenced them. Yes. So we have a great, great responsibility, Yes, great responsibility. So man has created the society, man has this kind of creativity because God created man in his own image. But look how poorly man has instituted the society as he has rejected God, the atheist man, the secular humanist. They have destroyed the foundation of the society. So we have all the problems. The world has plenty of food for everybody to eat. But there are a lot of people who are hungry. Why? The world has plenty of land for everybody to build a home. Why people have to build up? The whole Babylonian, the Babel mentality, let us not scatter. Let us be together. God said, be scattered, subdue the whole earth, go all over the world. Man building cities, concrete jungles. Man is so emotionally so upset. We used to live back home, in a nice little farm and fresh air and fresh water, space to run around, walk around, and some trees and some dogs and some fish in the ponds and everything. It was so nice, and chakka and manga and everything. Oh, we came here and I put my wife there within the four walls of a flat. I guess I have flattened her up. She was so sick. I knew why she was sick. Never get to see the sunlight or the face of a man or woman. As soon as she went back just for a couple of days, she landed. She said, I am half well. Half well. The fresh air and we need. So I said, don't live in these concrete jungles. I'm also living because you are all living. I'm ministering to people. Where will I go? I have to be where the people are, right? If I run away and go to the jungle, with whom will I speak? We are going to the jungles also. There are people there. So we needed to change our lifestyle somehow. Yes, it's better to sleep on the veranda of a shopping complex than living in the comfort of, a 10-story or 15-story flat where everything is. What air we are breathing? Same air, stale air, Oh, of course, there are auction parlors you can go. That's what people do. So the fallen man has made this society, this world real bad. We are supposed to be doing it again good. As days go by, the society is not improving, but degenerating. Sinful values, when are used to govern man, what good could come, from this? The alienation caused by human sin pervades the whole relationship. You cannot have any relationship. You cannot smile at a man today. No? People don't expect you to smile at people. Everybody minding their own business. When I was in Kenya for a few days, I was staying in a hotel and wanted to eat some food. I was hungry because that lodge, they don't have food there. So I asked the manager, where can I get some food? He said, just walk. 200 meters you will get. Okay, that's good. So as I going up, he said, call me. One thing, sir, keep a little money in this pocket you know. And the other money somewhere, you hide it. You see a man coming from that direction, you cross the road and walk the other way. You see somebody coming from there, you cross over here. I said, why? You cannot trust anybody. Somebody come, they will say that, hey man, give me a purse. If you say, I don't have anything, he will beat you and say, you rascal, dirty one, poor man, why did you come here? So you give this some amount of money, little bit, he will say, only this much, only that much. Rascal, one beat, you go. How you like it living in a society like that? Eh? Very difficult. One night I was sleeping, my friend Philip also, 2 o'clock in the morning, we got commotion outside home. Surrendered house, way up in the village, all around farms, no houses. We looked through the window, about 50, 60 people there. Some men, some women. Oh, everybody. I said, I don't know what happened. I asked Philip, what? Philip said, shh. I knew something wrong. Anyway, they were there for 10-15 minutes and we had a watchman outside. The watchman's quarters was there, so he came and watchman came out and he was talking with the watchman and then they all went away. Oh, Philip sighed and said, anyway, thank God, they are gone. I said, who are they? But they came to take your head. That's what they came up. My head. Oh boy. Yeah, I talked with the watchman, said that, asked that there's an Indian missionary staying here, came with a lot of money. We have come to loot him. He said, yeah, there is an Indian missionary, he doesn't have any money. Nothing. You will feel sad. He even doesn't have a cot, he's sleeping there, on a mat. Oh, they talked around, they went away. So in the morning, Philip got up and said that, Philip said, I will go to the village man. There is a man called village head. Without his knowledge, nothing will happen. Nothing could happen in the village. The village man has the right authority to kill a person. No case. So he went to the village man and said that last night some 60 people came to our place. You know anything about it? Yeah. For a few days the talk in this town, the place was that an Indian missionary has come with a lot of money. We need to go. We need to go. So they went. Then said, tell him if he got any money, put it in the bank. People may come again. Anyway, they didn't went away. On their way, they went away, they robbed another house. They come with acetylene cutters, everything. Axe, swords, all kinds of things. Men, women, they come in, they get in, they will take even a bottle like this, pillow, bed, cot, everything, chicken and goats and everything they will take. They will rape every woman there, especially unmarried, girls, and they will kill anybody who resists, and then they carry everything.